Welcome to the Intentional Awakening Podcast with your hosts, Kathy Brewer and Terry Huberman.
Well, hello there. I'm Terry, and welcome to the Intentional Awakening Podcast.
And I'm your co-host, Kathy Groover, and I do not have an angel card ready, and that's okay, because Terry and I were talking offline, and we thought, why are we not recording this? This is a very important and timely conversation. And we were speaking about sort of the unrest of what's happening in this world and how more and more people are feeling it. And one of our debates was, are people ready to have this conversation? Well, you're listening or watching. So, it's, if you're not ready right now, then maybe tomorrow or maybe next week.
Yeah.
But it's timely and important. And everybody I know is feeling this turmoil and this unrest and this, I'm going to say dis-ease, not disease, but dis-ease of what's happening in the world. And so we were just chatting offline, and I'm like, yeah, we should just record this. So I know, Terry, you sort of launched this conversation before I hit record. Like, let's back up a little bit if we can remember kind of where we were and dive in.
Yeah. So it was this weekend that I kept getting this, if you want to call it message, download, whatever you want to call it, because I've had friends, and I'm sure if you're listening or watching this, you also have had friends or you've experienced this as well. And that is like, why is there a hot mess of humanity? That's what I'm calling it right now. It's, basically a shit show out there right now. And people are really unhappy. People are getting sick. I've had more clients come to me and tell me that they actually have some chronic diseases now and chronic illness. And I'm like, okay. And I can feel it in my body. And you were just telling me this morning that you can feel it in your body. So there's an energetic take as to this hot mess of a humanity, what's going on. But a lot of people are questioning, like, why is it happening? And I love, Kathy, you said, well, it's an awakening. And I'm like, yes, it's an awakening. But really, what is an awakening? And so the message that I've been getting this weekend, and this is where it's kind of like, I'll admit, I'm nervous to say this, but
spit it out.
I'm just going to spit it out, is that I think that it's not that I know what's happening is that there's a renaissance to getting closer to God. Now, if you don't like the word God, that's okay. You can switch it with universe, your spirit guides, your angels, whatever.
Higher power,
archangels, higher power, collective. I mean, whatever it is, but there's a renaissance in getting back to and connecting to the divine and to each other, right? So there's this huge divisiveness going on. It doesn't matter what country you're in. I work with people in other countries and they're feeling it the same.
Yep.
Right. But what an awakening really is you getting closer to, I say God. So for me, it's God, but getting closer to God and reconnecting because we've gotten away from it, from the divine energy. And it always starts out individual first, and then it gets collective, right? So think of all of the years and the millennia and whatever has been going on to get to where we are right now as humanity, right? So yeah, we've got great technological advances, but have we advanced spiritually and in our divinity? It does not seem that way.
Right.
So, there's a few levels of truth that are going on here. And so, it's tough. I don't know how else to explain it other than it's tough. And oftentimes crisis is used by the brilliance of the divine to knock us off our butts, to realign us, right? Yep. So it's to get us back on track or back on path. And my friends and I personally, in our own personal conversations, we've just been like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? And that's what's been coming to me is like, this is why.
Yeah.
So.
And I have the exact same feeling. And this is why I started doing my TikTok stuff months ago, because as soon as the election happened, people were freaking the hell out. And I
Mm-hmm.
started doing my awakening insight because let me help you understand all this. I think all of this is unfolded exactly the way it's supposed to. And if you listen to any spiritual leader about awakening, suffering leads us to awakening.
Yeah.
And I think, it's so cool that you said it starts with the individual and then radiates out. Yes. And I think that as long as it was happening to those other people,
Mm-hmm.
it's not affecting me, it's those other people.
Those other
Well,
people.
now it's affecting everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And, you can't see how many roaches are in your kitchen until you flick on the light in the middle of the night. And we just flicked on the light and went,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
fuck, that's a lot
Yeah.
of roaches. Oh, no.
Yeah.
And, Eckhart Tolle, when I sat with him earlier this year, was like, this is unfolding for awakening. Gabor Mate was saying all this turmoil is happening for awakening. Cryon, if you want to get a little more woo,
Mm-hmm.
the woo meter just
Yeah.
went over. Cryon, who's a
Yay.
channel. I love Cryon.
He's
Um,
great.
they're great. I don't know. Yeah.
There, yeah.
Lee Carroll is the he. Cryon is the we don't know. They don't care about pronouns, I guess. They're saying that all this is unfolding the way it's supposed to. So every spiritual path that I look at, it's saying that this is unfolding for a very specific reason. And if truly suffering leads to awakening, here we are. Here's
Here
our
we
bucket of
are.
suffering, right?
Yeah.
One thing that I'm recommending for most people right now is please turn off the TV.
Yeah.
Please turn off the news. I have a client. She's one of the most compassionate healers. She's not in any kind of healing field, but she's a compassionate healer.
Sure.
And she is sitting in anger
Mm-hmm.
and hatred. And I keep saying, girl, you've gotta stop. You're contributing to it's the Ghostbusters thing, right? Like under the
Sure.
city, there's this pile of hatred building up. We gotta stop doing that. That's
Yeah.
creating more division, that is sowing more discord. And she listens to all these podcasts all day with all these political people. And I went, girl, turn off the podcast. You can listen to
Yeah.
ours, but turn
Yeah.
off the political, turn off the news. You don't need to read it. I occasionally allow myself to read headlines, but this morning I looked and went, nope, can't do it today.
Yeah.
I could feel this frustration and this build up in me. And I'm like, that's when I know it's not a day for me to see what's happening.
And that's the thing is that if you are sensitive, whether you're aware of it or not, if you're sensitive, you're going to feel it in your body. And so a lot of people are just confused. They're like, well, why do I feel this mucky, molassesy, gloppy feeling? And well, okay, fine. There's energy. There's an energetic aspect to it. But if you're sensitive on many levels, you're going to feel it on different levels and you may not understand why. Right. So, I'm totally guilty of listening to some podcasts and news and all of that. And I have to, and I can feel it in my body that I have to it's not even like a pull myself out of it. It's like a claw my way out of it. Right. Because the forces that be, whatever they are, they know how to prey upon lower vibrational frequencies. It's actually called loosh. If anybody wants to look that up, go ahead and look that up. It's like sucking on lower vibrational frequencies. So if there's even just a little bit
Yeah.
of a wobble, let's just say if you're wobbling even just a little bit,
Yeah.
more negative energy or a source or whatever can come and go, ooh, I like that. That's really tasty. Oh, that smells amazing. And it's going to suck on it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
when you walk into a kitchen and there's freshly baked bread, you're like, oh, that's divine, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to take it and then, you go even further down and then you become more delicious, right? So, you got to be really careful. I have to be careful. I have to be. I mean, I'm being completely honest and completely transparent. I have to do that. But it's such an uncomfortable feeling to have to take yourself out of it. And a lot of times once we get in it, we become unconscious. There's the asleepness
Yep.
again, where we have to awake out of it. Now, that's the blueprint of the human being to go in and out of awareness and consciousness throughout the lifetime of the human. But if you know that there's something out there that's causing this,
Right.
Like I'm laughing at myself now. It's like, Terry, you know you shouldn't be watching news today, just like you
Yep.
were saying, right? So it's not like we also cannot control this, but this is all about awareness and consciousness. So,
And habit.
and habit. Sure, sure, sure,
You
sure.
know, you're used to hitting yourself with a hammer. You're like, God, this really hurts.
Yeah.
Boy, I don't know why I have a headache.
Yeah.
Damn it. Why am I? Stop it.
Stop
You
hitting
know?
your head.
And it's like, I've talked to so many of my clients. I'm like, stop. The news is pissing me off. Then don't look
Yeah.
at it.
Don't look at it. Don't look at
I,
it.
I had one client, he was just like so angry. And I said, here's my, and he's recovering from a stroke.
Wow.
So of all the people that should not be watching the news right now. And I said, dude, you've got to turn off the news. And he goes, well, we watch it for the weather. And I said, here's this thing called a phone. I said, you don't have to watch 30 minutes of news to get the weather. I said, it's in your, or it's Santa Barbara, frankly, it's always 70. Go outside. It's always the same thing. I said, look at your phone. And then he goes, well, I need to know what's happening in the government because of my investments. And I went, okay. I said, I have a question. I said, do you manage your own investments? You sit there on the computer every day and like day trade? And he goes, oh, no, no, I have a guy that does that. I said, good. Okay, it's the guy's job then
Yeah.
to watch the news.
Yeah.
It is not your job to watch the news. And he
Yeah.
stops for a second and he goes, yeah, you know, it's not my job. And he stopped watching the news and he's doing so much better.
Yeah.
But it's like we have to, you know, it's habit. Oh, we turn on the 11 o'clock news to da 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 da, or we have this on
Yeah.
the background the whole time. I can turn it off.
Yeah.
Turn it off. It is toxic to us right now.
Yeah.
And believe me, you know enough of what's going on. You're not
Yeah.
missing anything.
Yeah. And the thing is, my mom has this saying, and it's true. Every time I go back to it, I'm like, oh man, that's true. It's like what you're supposed to know, you're going to know. You will find out, you will know. So if anything, God forbid, is going on that you need to know
Yeah.
about, you will find out in some capacity
Yeah.
with plenty of time to manage
Yep.
yourself. And that is true every single time. Every single time.
Yep. Well, and I had this conversation with my husband because he's very, very sensitive, but not quite as sensitive as me with stuff like this. And I said, look, I said, this is sometimes why I don't want to have these conversations. I can't have these conversations. I said, I don't want to look at these images. I don't want to
Yeah.
read the news. I don't want to. And he finally got it. I was like, it physically hurts me.
Mhm.
And this was months ago. And he finally said, you know what? He goes, it doesn't do that to me like it does that to you. So how about if something's happened that you need to know, then I'll sit you down and tell you.
Love it.
And I went, beautiful. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So everybody take a breath
Yeah. Seriously.
and remember this is unfolding the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And this is happening for a really, really, really good reason.
Mm-hmm.
And when I sat with Eckhart earlier this year, he ended his talk. It was 2 hours. There was probably 4,000 people there, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
He ended his talk by saying, now more than ever, your most important job is to awaken.
Mm-hmm.
The life of the cosmos depends on it. And he walked off the stage and I went, uh, uh, did, and everybody leapt to their feet and started clapping. And I'm literally sitting there going, wait, did you guys just hear what he was basically like? What? You know, and everyone's just like, oh, it was so good. And I'm like, did you hear what he just said?
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
And that's the same thing Gabor Mate said when I saw him earlier this year. He's like, you know, this is going to suck for a while. And short term, I'm very pessimistic. Long term, I'm incredibly optimistic because I know why this is unfolding.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that we have there's a delicate fine dance between being very present. Right. It's important to be present because in this now moment, you and I are not being threatened in any capacity. So we're completely and totally safe in this now moment. Right. If we jump to the future, we have no idea. And obviously from the past, we have memories and remembrance. So I call that emotional time travel.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's very, if we're in a now moment that is not good and we're not safe, it's hard to have the trust that the next now moment we could totally be safe. But we have to measure ourselves by now moments. That's what I call it.
Well, that's all there is.
Right. And like I talk about the space-time continuum and how we like close the gap with every now moment. Right. But if we're being called, let's say, through crisis, whether it's our crisis or we're part of a crisis, like if it's our personal or a collective, we are not being not gently pushed forward. It's not a nudge, it's a wham, right? Forward to sort of go, okay, this is happening, and what is my contribution? How can I be aware of it? How can I not do it again?
Right.
So it allows for accountability and responsibility, which is part of the ingredient pie of compassion and kindness. And we can throw in generosity too in there. So that's why, it's crisis that is showing us what it is that we need to know, see, think, feel, behave, and act. And how can we co-create with the divine? How do we get closer to the divine in this process? Because it's such a nonchalant kind of thing. I was telling you earlier that I have friends they're not religious per se. Maybe they'll identify with a certain religion or whatever, but all of a sudden they're praying or they're having thoughts like, I really wish there was world peace, or I wish this part of the world would have, would just be calmer, or I wish, the financial situation here for this country would be better, or blah, blah, blah. So all of a sudden they're thinking bigger than who they are.
Right.
Because of what's happening either outside of them or whatever's going on inside of them. It's giving them a bigger perspective than just who they are, but they can only get there from a crisis.
Right. Well, and we awaken through suffering. I mean, that's
correct.
That's what every teacher that I've ever studied with has said.
Yeah. And so that's what this is. So here we are. So if you want to know why this is happening, it's happening to bring you closer to your higher power and to each other.
Yep. And because we're at our time, I guess I didn't hit the timer, so I don't know how long.
We're at our time.
Yeah, we're at our time. But I did manage to sneak in an angel card, so we'll end with the
look
angel
at
card.
us!
And boy,
it's pertinent. All right, we'll end with an angel card.
End with an angel card. Tenderness.
Oh.
Take actions that reflect the wisdom of your heart. Give generously and freely, and treat yourself and others with kindness and caring. Well, I can't think of a better angel card to end with after this conversation. So
absolutely
know that you are all in our hearts, and that the more we come together and have these conversations, the more we meditate, the more we're present, the more we are still and have that contemplation, the more we're lifting all of this up. So keep fighting the good fight.
Keep fighting.
Stay the path. Do all the things that you know to do to take care of yourself. Be tender with yourself and with all those people out there, because everybody's feeling all this craziness. So I am Kathy Gruber. I can be reached at kathygruber.coach.
And I'm Terry Huberman. You can catch me at terryhuberman.com. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Intentional Awakening podcast, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
See you next week.